Today we head from Yellowstone to Teton National Park. We left Grant Village after, of course, having a great buffet breakfast and head south to the Tetons. You can see it's snowy and cold, and Lewis Lake was frozen over, so we had to stop and take a few pictures on our way.
I'm on.
Okay, Kelly, where are we at?
We are at, I'm pretty sure, I think Lewis Lake in Yellowstone National Park, but I've been wrong 99 times out of 100, so this could be Yellowstone Lake. This could be any lake, but it's frozen.
And that's
It's like the Arctic tundra.
the frozen lake we're looking out over. We're out. Surprisingly, he was actually correct this time.
Oh. And where are we at, Kelly?
We are in the Bering Sea. We're at Lewis Lake in Yellowstone National Park.
And you can see
Why would a bird be out there? It's freezing. Look at this.
birds probably frozen.
Here, I'm going to get a little video. This is...
We're actually heading down to Jenny Lake in the Teton National Park, but we don't get much of that white stuff, so I had to stop and take some pictures. And this would be our first glimpse of the Tetons. Just spectacular, even though you can't see much of them with the cloud cover. Jenny Lake gives you great views of the Tetons, and there are several hikes around there. We stopped first at the visitor center to find out a little bit more information, and here's a replica of the Tetons right in front of the Tetons. But here's the boat launch.
Here at Jenny Lake Boat Launch. Boat service to Hidden Falls and Cascade Canyon trails. And for an adult, it's $17 for a round trip, $12 if you want to go one way.
Being cheap, we decided we'd hike around the lake. To hike to where the boat takes you is only a 2-mile hike, and if you want to hike all the way around the lake, it's 7 miles. And you saw that sign, Be Bear Aware.
Okay, Kelly Paul, where are we?
We're in the Grand Teton National Park. We are at Jenny Lake, and we're looking at all the trees that the beavers have cut down. And you'd say, no, that's cut with an axe. Well, nope, you'd be wrong, because nobody cuts from the bottom to the top with an axe. And here's all beaver chewing chips. And I'm very familiar with beavers, just so
And all these trees
I just
are cut down by
beavers.
beavers.
Yep, Kelly went off to tell me lots of beaver facts, such as beavers weigh up to 60 pounds, 40 inches long. They don't hibernate. But then we came to a crowd on the trail. Someone said there was a bear. And sure enough, there's a bear. I think it's just a black bear, and they can come in different shades and colors, including brown. Kelly said since it had round ears, he thought it was a grizzly. But like he said, he's wrong 90% of the time, and since he was right on Lewis Lake, chances are he's wrong here. People are clearly not staying 100 yards away, but it was blocking the trail, and all it was interested in doing is eating some of the vegetation growing along the trail. But it shortly wandered off, and our hike resumed. We're now near the boat dock and about a half mile from Hidden Falls. But it was starting to rain, and we knew that there would be a lot of people heading for the boat dock to take the ride back. And it's cold out, and we're not really dressed for the rain, so we decided we better head to the boat dock before we're soaked and pay that $12 for a one-way ticket back. And as you can see, we're getting soaked, and people just kept lining up. We were able to get the second boat back before we got too wet. And I should mention, you didn't need to buy your ticket in advance. You can just get on the boat and then you pay when you get back to the dock. But we kind of wanted to see what the boat ride was like, see the lake from the boat, looking back toward the Tetons, see that rain coming down. Some people that were coming from the boat launch didn't want to get off the boat, but they were forced to get off the boat and had to wait in line probably, I don't know, maybe an hour to get back on the boat. So we had made a wise decision to skip our hike to Inspiration Point and Hidden Falls. As you can see now, the line heading out has got much longer. So you want to get there early to get the boat ride. I've heard the afternoon's also good as the line dies down. But wherever you go, spectacular views of the Teton. The rain stopped, and after we got some ice cream, then we decided we'd head towards Mormon Row to see the old barns and buildings that are about 150 years old. This is the most popular site, the T.A. Moulton Barn. It's been photographed a number of times, and I tried a number of different angles. It's best to get it in the morning so you can see the front of the barn. And it's better when it's not quite so cloudy and you can see the Tetons behind it. But just a spectacular sight and a popular spot for photographers. If you head just a little bit north, you'll see the John Moulton and Reed Moulton homesteads. I love that pink building that he built for his wife. And still spectacular views of the Tetons behind. It's cool because you can just walk up and explore in and around these structures. And if you go a little farther north, you come to this barn. It looks almost identical to the T.A. Moulton barn. And, of course, they were brothers. The unfortunate thing, it's facing the wrong way, so you don't get quite the same view with the Tetons in the background. But it's still a spectacular old barn, and with the corral around it, still has quite the character. That's me in front of it, so you know I'm there. And Kelly took, 3 pictures and didn't get his thumb in any of them. But it's a cool sight to see. And you head a little farther north, and you get this spectacular sight. And as you can see, most of the people don't go down there. That's Kelly wandering up to the old barn and the old homestead. Spectacular sight. And we've got it all to ourselves practically. Love the little outhouse out there. I think this is a pretty cool looking barn, and you can see there has been some restoration of it. But if the clouds weren't all there, you'd have a nice view of the Tetons in the background. You can tell it's been restored when you look inside.
This is what it looks
That
like
wood's not
inside.
150 years old, but that outside wood is, and it has quite the character. But when you look inside, you can see that the whole place is held together with cables. But still a spectacular sight to see. And of course, there are some plaques where you can read the history of the area, a once vibrant community. But we're heading back to Grant Village in Yellowstone, passing Lewis Lake.
Oh, you gotta keep backing up so I can see you. You're not in the sun yet.
You want me to slide off down this thing?
You actually just go back one little step more. All right, I got you as best as I can. Your face still isn't out of the shadow, but oh, there it is. And you didn't fall, son of a gun.
I think he just wanted to see me slide down that snow into the lake. But I hope you enjoyed our little tour. Have a great day.